How does one go from here to here? Stay tuned as the Millionaire Barber explains his journey going from convict to millionaire barber stylist. And what you can do to start your success story today.
If you want to increase your income, come partner with us, the Millionaire Barber and Razor Chick, and me, Kim Kimball. Come on, y'all. Let's do this.
Thank you, Chan. My name is Glenn Wilson. I'm from Houston, Texas area. Like Mr. Chen was saying, I have 2 schools now. I started off in 1989. And I got the Marine Corps in the Barber College. Once I finished barber school, I had a desire to get my own barber shop. And once I got into the barber industry, I started thinking about schools. And once I started going towards that direction, I figured that it was a lot more to it from a school, from a barber shop. They told us 2 different businesses. We went to a accreditation NACA conference, and that was our first conference going. And I was telling my wife, I said, we need to find someone here that's in the same industry as we are in barbering, that would that we could speak with, just give us some type of a mentorship as far as how to go. And it just so happened we was in the break, and you were in the hallway, standing there with some blue jeans and a t-shirt. I remember like it was yesterday. And I approached you. I think you had some Starbucks or some coffee in your hand. And you were on the phone, but I approached you and asked her to speak with you because I noticed we had name tags on. I noticed you had a barber school because you was a barber school owner. So that's what drew me to you, was because of that. I was looking for someone, but just so happened, during our break, you was the first person that I stumbled, blessed to have 2 schools. We have a accredited school. Our current tuition is $25,000. And we just opened up a sister school, which is not accredited yet because it's a different name, but in the same umbrella. Right now, we're charging $7,000 for our tuition.
But how much is the tuition at the other school?
For the accredited school, it's $25,000, and for the non-accredited school, it's $7,000.
How does it feel for the government to give you $25,000 a student?
It feels good, especially when you're putting in the work and you're doing it for a cause. Meaning, we're not doing it for the money. We see the benefit of what we're giving, which is true education and, career guidance, so really it feels good to be doing what we're doing. But at the same token, we're doing it coming straight from our hearts and striving to give the students quality education to where they can get out the industry and be successful and perhaps someday do the same thing that my wife are doing.
What advice would you give a barber or stylist that's working behind the chair, that's contemplating on getting into the program, and but they're scratching their head and they're wondering about this?
Well, they say, Chan, information changes your situation. So I would recommend highly, and I'm not just saying this because you and I are talking on camera, but I've just been sincere from the heart. I was sincere, express that it's very vital that they speak with someone that's willing with an open heart and to give them the information that's needed, and that person would be you. Well, I remember you and I talking at a conference, and you made a comment to me that stuck with me. And you said you was talking to me about a particular circle of friends that I have to have. And keep in mind, I never had a mentor in this business. So you were the first person that I really spoke with that was giving me advice on the business. So I remember you was telling me that, Glenn, you have to be the brokers in your circle and the less wise in your circle. and that brought to me, an awareness of who I need to be associating with. So, in doing so, taking that advice you gave me, I found myself being alone. And now, when I want to talk to someone, he lives in Tennessee or he lives in a different state than I do. So, I've learned that, when you go through that journey of success in our career or any career that you're striving to be successful at, your company has to be totally different from your normal company. And that's what took me to the level we're right now.
First of all, I just want to thank you for having me on here. And I just want to express to you, I think I have before, but I know my wife and I would not be here where we are doing what we're doing, and blessed to be doing what we're doing, where we're going, had not been for you. You did a lot of good things for me and my family that I just don't want to put out there and people think, oh no, but it's real what you have done. I mean, we have students when you came down to our school and and guided my wife and I and showed us the things that we should be doing, the things that we were doing wrong, the way you critiqued us. That's why we are where we are right now. I have to be very honest with you, because again, you don't find people like yourself with the status that you have that's rendering their time, because again, time is valuable. And you took the time out. I mean, again, words are inadequate to let you know how much we really appreciate what you did, because again, had it not been for you, Chen, we wouldn't be talking right now. And I have to be straight up honest with you personally, and I never got a chance to let you know and express to you how much I appreciate what you've done for me and my family. I mean, I talk about you all the time in my school. We read your book that you have, and I always mention your name all the time in theory. But again, personally, I just want to take this time to thank you so much for what you did and being a mentor to me and my family to be successful in the business. Now Texas got to deal with my wife and I, thanks to you. Yes, sir. Well, I actually grew up, Chen. I had a mother and father in the home, but our average income in our household was right at $11,000 a year. And coming from a home with a window AC unit, sometimes the water wasn't turned on, sometimes it was turned off. Sometimes the lights was turned on, sometimes it was turned off. Sometimes I went to school without lunch money. I had to ask some of my friends to borrow $1 for lunch. Those little things, Chen. I had my first car at 24. I used to walk to school as a senior in high school. In barber school, I worked 2 jobs. I worked at nighttime, and then the morning time, daytime, went to school full time. So, growing up I was the first one in my family to graduate from high school. I did time doing things as a young man as far as indulging in drugs, things that I'm not bragging about, but I experienced those things. And to be able to escape the aftermath of it is it's just a blessing to be where I'm at right now. And, just like I say, Chin, my phone don't ring every day, but I tell my students all the time, I have a phone number. I know I can always call you up, and I know you're going to give me some good advice, and I can count on 3 fingers on people that I would call up, and you one of the first ones that I would call up when I need advice in this industry. So, again, I'm just blessed to overcome the things that I overcame, but I'm also blessed to have friends and people like you to network with to get me to another level. Thank you so much, Chen. And like I say, bro, I love you, man. And
love you too.
May God continue to bless you with much success because you deserve it. And like I say, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Glenn.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Takenya Jordan, and I'm the owner of Albany Beauty Academy. I've been running my school now for 4 years. Like Chen said, I was a correction officer here in Georgia, and I was a correction officer for like 14 years. So I got tired of doing that. That was not my passion. It was just a paycheck to pay bills.
Somebody that, when they see my open your school program or whatever, what would you tell them?
I'll tell them to try it because you save people thousands of dollars. Right now, I'm going to the stage of trying to get accredited. So that's a lot of things that I didn't know about.
when you first got started, was anybody willing to help you?
Where there's nobody to help you. It's like when you do ask people that have schools, they don't want to share anything. They don't want to share information with you. You could be 100 miles from them and they still don't want to share. It's like they don't want another school on the turf. You get what I'm saying? They don't want a newcomer. So they're not going to share with you at all. But with you, I found that you was sharing. It was like, wow, this stuff that he's telling is what I went through and what I'm going through. So it was refreshing to finally see someone in a Black man that's doing it and that can help you out and go through all that red tape, because I went through a lot of red tape. You just don't understand how much I went through.
Yes, a lot.
Yes, it's a lot.
So he was like, $1,500, man, come on now. And I was like, come give me $1,500 to go cut your hair. He was like, yeah, man, I'll pay for you to fly. Take care of all your room and board and your food. It won't cost you nothing, man. Just come on, man, go with me. I'll say, okay, man, so you're going to give me $1,500 a haircut and pay for all this stuff. He said, yeah. I said, okay, I can at least go talk to my wife and kids about it. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up talking to them about it, saying, hey, baby, this food, I said food. So he going to give me $1,500 to cut his hair. He just meet me for a couple of days. He fly to, to LA and pay for all this stuff. And, and basically I'd be back on the days. And so then the guy on the show, Romeo, which is Merlin Santana, which was the guy that played, I think it was Bullethead, right? Romeo, played Romeo on the show. Okay. He also came to me and said, how much Steve paying you, man? And said, I said, they're paying me $1,500. And he was like, cool, I give you $1,500. So now, I'm making like, what is that, $4,500 a day. You know what I mean? And then it just went from there. I went from there to like the Kings of Comedy, seeing them start traveling, doing the Kings of Comedy during that era. And so we go out with Bernie Mac, Cedric goes out with us. At that time, I think we had D.L. Hughley and who else? Yeah, Steve, Cedric, D.L., and Bernie Mac. And so while we were on the road, I was already doing Steve and Cedric. Mm-hmm. So then for Bernie Mac, same question. What are they paying you, JT, to do the hair? And so now I'm doing him, doing Bernie, doing DLs, while we're on tour as well. And then it went from 2 days basically to 4 or 5 days a week. Just kind of depends on whether we were going out with the Kings of Comedy or whether we were just doing regular taping for television. And so, it got kind of where some points might be 7,500, 10,000 miles a day, man. Doing something that I love to do anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like how it went, man.
Okay. And how long were you with Mr. Harvey?
I stayed with him for about 31 years, something like that. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Long time, man. I mean, but Steve, he's a loyal guy. Yeah, and so there's times I try to get out to him and say, you know what, I'm gonna try to, hey, but JT, I got this for you, man. Listen, what we're gonna do, we're gonna make you my project manager. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So you can make that money, man. I'm gonna make you a producer on this project we about to do, man. We about to do the Hoodie Awards. I'm gonna make you a producer on there. So every time I thought I saw out, he would throw something else in my lap, basically, and it would keep me there, and it became a great friendship, and I think more so he wanted his friends around, and more so than the money, I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So I was in town actually. I came originally to go speak at Oprah Winfrey's father's school. I think it was in Nashville. And so I was working with a guy, Dwayne, which was managing me at the time. And he said, hey, man, this guy named Chin has a school here, too. We should go by and visit his school. I didn't know of you at the time, but apparently he did. And so he was like, we should go by. I was like, well, came by your school, man. I think you had this very nice school. I think you had something maybe like 400 students or something. So it was a really large school. Had a great interview. Got a chance to meet you and maybe one of your business partners or something. I think that was with you.
Thelma?
And what's her name? Is Thelma. That's her name. Miss Thelma. Met her and, like I say, spoke to the students. Man, it was a great experience. And then after we finished talking with the students, like I say, we signed autographs and took pictures. And then I had a conversation with you. Once I was done, you said, "Hey, man, you ever thought about opening up a school?" And I was like, "You know what, man? I thought about that like years ago." And you said, "Man, you should think about it." He said, "You see how excited these students are that you're here and how you impacted their life." He said, "I'm afraid that you opened up across the street, you'll shut me down." You know, that's what he said. So we laughed about it, like, "Man, get out of here with that." But he said, "No, I'm serious, man. You should really think about it." And to be honest with you, Chin, I had thought about a way, because, you know, I had been traveling for like almost 30 years with Steve at the time. And I really wanted to go back to Texas and, you know, spend more time with my family and, you know, with people and really do what I really love to do, which is be in the hair business. I never done the whole Hollywood thing. Celebrity barber was not of a goal of mine. But I just didn't know how to get out. You know, I was in it. You know, I went from doing what I was doing there to traveling with Steve, making all this money. And plus, I lost all my clientele during the process. And so go back home to what? You know, I didn't really have any business to go home to. So I ended up having to figure it out. And when I met with you, you told me that, man, that's how I got out. Basically, I called the guy up at the school that I own now and asked him, "Hey, man, you ever thought about selling that school?" And he was like, "Nah, you know, I think if I, you know, get out of the business, I'm just going to leave it to one of my kids or, you know, nephews, somebody in his family." And I was like, "Oh, man." I said, "Okay, if you ever want to sell it, you know, let me know." And then 6 months later or so, he called me back. And he said, "Hey, man, you still want to buy that school?" And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'll sell it to you." And I said, "I'll buy it." Now, I said that to him before I even thought about the fact that I'm still with Steve, right? I had just signed a deal to do the talk show they had in Chicago. I mean, my deal was already done. I mean, I already had an apartment. I already had, you know, they could give you a call and stuff that Steve promised they were still doing it. All that stuff was lined up. I just signed off on it. You know what I mean? We're about to go in a few weeks. You know what I mean? So I said, "Yeah, I want to buy it." So, you know, I'm excited and everything. I thought about, whoa, wait a minute now. How am I going to do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm already under contract to go to Chicago. So I said, "Man, I got to go talk to Steve." So I called him up. I said, "Hey, Steve, what's going on, dog?" He said, "Hey, man, what's up, JT?" I said, "Hey, man." I said, "You remember," because I had talked to him about it, Tim, when I came to your school, when you told me about I should open up a school. I said, "Man, I've been thinking about doing a school." So I had told him back then, but, you know, nothing in depth. And so when I came back to him now, this is like real now, you know. So I go to him, I said, "Hey, man, you remember I was talking to you about that school, you know?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I bought one in Texas." He was like, "Oh, good, man, that's good." He said, but how that's going to work?" I said, "What you talking about?" He said, "I'm saying, how you going to do both? How you going to be down at the school, man, and be like up here in, you know, Chicago with us?" I said, "That's what I'm coming to talk to you about." I said, "You know, if I go do the school, I ain't going to be able to go to Chicago." And he was like, "Huh?" I said, "Yeah, I ain't going to be able, I mean, I'm going to go down there and run the school, you know." He was like, let me get this straight, JT. So you want to leave all this right here and open up a damn school?" I said, "Yeah, man, that's what I want to do." He said, "What that shit pay?"
He said, "What?"
He said, "What that shit pay?" In other words, so I say, "Well, I don't know what it pays." You know what I'm saying? I say, all I'm saying, man, is that it's something that I always want to do. You know what I mean? And I talked to the guy at the school that I went to, you know, 30 years ago. He's retiring, you know. I had asked him about buying it if he ever retired, and he called me back. He said that there's something to me, and there's something I really want to do, man. It's an opportunity. I think that I should jump on. I think I kept a lot of people. It'll be what I really always want to do, you know. And he was like, "Man," he said, "So go back to Texas and go run a school." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, JT, is like this right here, man." He said, "You know, all the stuff I'm doing right now, this is my shit. That's what I want to do." You know what I'm saying? And if that's what you want to do, man, he said, "Go do your thing, man." You know, I can't be mad at you about that. And so that's basically how I ended up getting back to Texas, and doing the school deal.
Now, what about, did he cut his hair before you?
He cut it before. He actually cut his hair when he turned 50. When he turned 50, he cut his hair. We were actually in the last season of taping. I can't remember what show we were doing then, but anyway. And so, because what happens here, whenever we would go out, travel, do shows, whatever we were doing, concerts, people always want to touch his hair, feel his hair, take pictures of all this kind of stuff, And Steve said, hey, man, this hair thing is it's upstaging me now. It's like my hair done got bigger than me. He said, when I turn 50, I'm just going to cut it off. So, we laughed about it, man. Some of the fellas, we like, man, please, you ain't cutting hair. I'm serious, JT. At the end of this year, when I go home for the holidays, I'm going to cut it all off, man. Because he said, my hair is getting bigger than me, He said, I started this thing, man, but I wanted this perfect haircut. You provide that for me. He said, now it's like my hair is bigger than my career of anything else I'm doing. And he said, I just think I need to just change my whole look, So, of course, we laughed about it and went home for the holidays and, Christmas and everything, and came back first of the year. He had cut it all off. he said, I'll be honest with you, JT, I was scared to do it. He said, I got in front of the mirror one day and I looked at it and I put the balding clippers right in the middle of my head and I went straight down the middle. He said, once I did that, I was like, it's over now. I can't go back. And so he just said he took it all off. And so when I saw him at the first year, of course, it looked strange to me when I saw him, like, you really cut all your hair. I told you I was going to do it, man, And he was like, so what you going to do now, messing with me? He tell everybody I was on suicide watch. But I said, hey, man, I don't know. I said, you don't mess me up, dog. You know what I'm saying? I said, the famous haircut, man, that made me the barber I am today and all that, you took that away from me. They was like, nah, man, I'm still going to let you shave my head every day. You shave it. And then what happens here, so we had this girl named Debbie Denson, was his makeup girl. Well, she got this big contract with Ice Cube to do his movies. And so she traveled with us doing his makeup. I was doing his hair and stuff. But when she got the big contract with him to do all his movies, it was a big deal for her. And so she was like, Steve, so she had to leave. And so she was like, man, I got to get me a makeup person that I feel comfortable with, man. I just don't feel like going through all that, And I was like, well, dog, I'll learn how to do makeup. He said, nigga, you don't know how to do no makeup, JT. You ain't finna do no makeup on me. I said, no, I go to class. I'll learn. He said, you gonna go to makeup class? I said, yeah, I go to makeup class. And so I went to the producer, man, one of the TV shows, and she was like, yeah, JT, if you want to do it, we actually pay for you to go. Mm-hmm. And I said, really? And they was like, yes, they paid for me to go to makeup class, man. I learned how to do high-def makeup, all that stuff for television. So I continued to shave his head every day, you know what I'm saying? And I did his makeup. And so I did that up until I left, about 8 or 9 years ago. Well, when I first went to school, I was a little bit nervous, of course, because it was new waters, for me to charter. And when I first bought the school team, I had 12 students. And so, the income was a little bit different than what I was used to. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay. My wife thought I was crazy because the school I bought was older school. It's been around since 1952. And so it wasn't the best looking school aesthetically. If you look at it, it's like, why would you buy this place, And so my wife, she was like, I don't know, James, maybe you should have stayed with Steve, So, but it was in my heart though, Tina. So I went there, man. I made a few changes. We went from 12 students, and now we keep about 75 on the average right now. We do pretty good business every week on the floor. It's pretty good business, and I'm helping so many people, man. And it turned into a business that's really profitable. I can make a really decent living still at it, and I'm helping so many people, man. And we're doing a lot of community things here, so we help a lot of people in the community. We do a lot of stuff for churches, group homes. We do some stuff with some professional athletes and stuff here, different benefit things they do. I do some stuff with Mark Cuban's charity that he has Still do some stuff with Steve Charity, and just so many different things that it gives an opportunity to be freed up to do by me doing the school. Yes, I have a radio show that I do here, internet radio show. Of course, we're about to start up the book tour again, because, it's been a minute since we actually went out with the book. And it's like people think there's a new book 10, but it's been out for 10 years. The information that's in there is still relevant, so it can still help a lot of people. So, I got an assistant now, Erica, that works with me that helps me get my life back in order. And so we're going to do a lot of things like that now that being back here will allow me to do. So we have a new project that we're putting together as well that's going to help a lot of people in the industry get their life together, man, on track. So it's a lot of stuff we get an opportunity to do, man, me being back home. So I'm really enjoying that.
Now, how does it feel to be able to impact all those students' lives?
Oh, man, it's the most, it's everything I thought it would be 10 and then some, what I envisioned when I first got out of barber school, what I wanted to do. And it's funny how life takes you on these journeys, man, take you all around the world and come back to it, 30-something years ago. But it's everything I thought and then more, man, now with what we're doing with the schools, man. It's just really, really exciting, man. I've seen so many people transform from, struggling in their life, man, telling me that now they're making $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 a week and stuff like that, man. And, and they used to make maybe $300 or $400 a week or less. And it's a really, really rewarding feeling, man, to see them doing that stuff, So.
Chen, I heard about you back in years ago at Bonner Brothers. You had went to one of your classes, and it's crazy how life works. I happened to stumble across you again, and I knew that I had to make that connection. It was not an accident that happened. So it was years ago, literally at least 6 years ago, and now it's just now coming back, So it's been a while. Well, for me, it's about growth. You never want to stop growing. So when I seen the opportunity that you had, and I seen, you had did your book, and now I see that you're doing other things. I said, this is a brother who's progressing and moving with this profession, and that's what I'm about. I don't want to stay stagnant and stay behind the chair, or be the guy that's been behind the chair for 30 years and 40 years and haven't done anything extra. So for me, I have to surround myself with people like you that's moving forward. As Obama said back in the day, we're moving forward, and that's what I want to continue to do. I don't want to go backwards.
Okay. So when the program, a little bit about his life, I'm not going to take up a lot of time. Alan, I remember we first met in Atlanta. So can you go back and fast forward to where you are now?
Okay. We met, I think, back in 2012 in Atlanta at a financial aid workshop. And you was telling me about taking my school to the next level, because I didn't know at that time if I was still going to stay in the school business or shut my doors, do something else. But you started talking, we started talking, and you told me, said, look, I got a school in Nashville. It's very successful, and this is how you can do it. Foster's Cosmetology and Barber College. And my mother started back in 1945 with the school. And I took over in 2008. And from 2008 to 2013, it was a struggle. But once I took your program and you took me under your wing, I started seeing a whole lot of difference. And that's just real talk to anybody that want to know.
When you started, you used to call me a lot, but now you don't call me that much.
Well, I still call you. We still going to be friends for life. And if anything, that if I have a problem right now, like I called you like a month ago,
yeah,
in 2018 now, I called you a month ago and you still helped me out. So it's always you. One thing I like about your program, it's a hands-on program. You are always accessible. You just a phone call away. If I have a problem, I can call you, and usually you'll give me the answer because I know you have been through this. I would say to really think about it and give you a try and give you a call. set it up where you can walk them right through, where a lot of times if they get under your program, if they just listen to half of what you teaching, it'll save them a whole lot of money and headache. Yeah, I go to conferences now with no problem as far as to enhance my business even more. I visit high schools. I can take off when I want to, and it just really freed me up where I can have more freedom, to do what I want to do.
How does it feel to be freed up, to be able to do what you want to?
Oh man, it's lovely. I mean, I wouldn't take it for nothing in the world, because before then, and before I started your program, I was there 24/7 trying to just make ends meet, trying to keep the doors open. But after I went through your program, it just freed me up where I can just have more time to spend with my family. Not only I'm a hard worker, but also I want to spend family time, and family is always important.
When you worked in the barber shop, how did you feel? How was it different from working in a barber shop to being a school owner?
Well, the barbershop, I would mainly just be cutting behind that chair, and long days on that chair, and it got pretty old, and you can really burn yourself out. And it's just long days on your feet, and then having to be there when your customer wants you to be there, they not showing up, you still there just waiting at the shop on them, and you just really long days and long nights.
So what would you tell a barber that's thinking about transitioning from being a barber to a school owner?
Oh, I think that it would be, if it's really in your heart and it's really what you want to do, and you want to take your career to the next level, then you should try to open up a school, or try to branch out to something else. Because really, the barber business is real competitive, and it should be a stepping stone to something else. Because you're getting older, your clients getting older, so you want it to step into another direction.
Now, how does your body feel working in that shop all day?
It doesn't feel good. Your feet hurt, your back be hurting. It's just long days, and then once you get out of the shop after so many days, after the whole day, the only thing you really want to do is just go home and go to bed. You don't have any energy to do anything else.
What about that barber or stylist that wants to open a school, but they scared?
Well, they really have to, they need to give you a call. That's the main thing. They need to give you a call so you can walk them through it, where they can see, and also see other successful school owners, how they do it, and how they do it as far as operating the school on a day-by-day basis.
Okay. Well, I know you said that you're about to go pick up your daughter. Is that correct?
I'm getting ready. Yeah, I'm getting ready to take her to softball practice.
Now, how does that feel to be able to just spend all of that quality time with her to take off any time?
It's priceless. I can go to her games on the weekends. She plays travel softball, so I can go. Me and my wife, we can go and watch her play. And like I said, it really freed us up in our schedule, and where we could not miss out on our daughter growing up and her ball games and just doing things that we wanted to do. Okay, well, the only thing I would like to say is that, hey, you really need to get with Chin, and if you really want to take your barbering career to the next level, get with the Millionaire Barber. That's what I'm talking about. He really changed my life, and he can change yours.
I'm just thankful that I've had the opportunity to have mentors like you, because, truth be told, Chin, when I met you in Atlanta, I think it was that I met you in Atlanta, man, and that was the beginning of the shifting for me and my wife. The information, how you made yourself available to me, it was something that I just never really experienced, man, from a mentor aspect. Most people seemed like they were intimidated to help me, because I don't know why, but I do appreciate you and your system, man, because it really helped me to be able to grow. I've always been the type of individual that I don't expect handouts or people to give me anything. It's just the information. And when I met you, you just gave me the information. I was already prepared financially because I had been saving and being disciplined, not spending my money unwisely. So when the opportunity came, and when I know we were connected, because you just walked up to me out of the blue and was like, I like those glasses on your face. And I was just like, just out the blue. And ever since then, you just was giving me information. And it was just like, me and my wife were just blown away, because we were like, man, like we haven't really met anybody that voluntarily giving us this information without trying to get, their own personal gain. So that was just something that really helped me and encouraged me. You making yourself available through this process has really helped me, because one thing, success is not just individual. People don't understand that Networks Barber College is a mixture of a lot of other people, including, especially, Chin and what you've been doing to help. It's just a mixture of other people pouring into the success. So, I don't want to take credit like, oh, we're doing so well. We are doing well, but it's because of the people that I've surrounded myself around that's been able to give me some good information to build my business. And just having that support system for me has been the world of difference. One of the days I wanted to quit, just being able to pick up the phone and talk to you, and you say, keep going, it's going to get better. And when I have questions, dealing with the Title IV funds, because a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, man, I was intimidated by the process, because it's like, if you make a mistake, they're going to chop your head off. So I was fearful, man. And I was like, every corner, I feel like I'm making a mistake. They're going to send me to jail, this, and that. So I just had to go through that process, Chin. And it took me up into, now to get to a place where I'm like, man, I'm a guy of integrity. What am I, all I'm doing is my best. And that's all I can continue to do.
Now, how was it when you got your accreditation? Because a lot of people are scared, and when you got that ISS back, when we sent it to you, remember when I sent you the ISS?
Yeah.
Already done.
Yeah. Man, I've been telling people, man, that's a big hurdle. A lot of people, they wonder, like, well, why did you come, and how did you get your financial aid, your accreditation so fast? And, I surpassed a lot of people that was teaching me. And it was just because, the information that, when I met you, you was like, this is what you need to do. I just trusted the process. And, I went through that process. The ISS, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I remember before I met you, I used to watch the videos that you had. And it was just like not reinventing the wheel, you know what I mean? And so it's just like, you told me, it's a system already set in place, and all you got to do is just go through the process. You gave me insight on, third-party servicers. You're like, don't pick the cheapest one. Don't pick this one. And you just, and I just followed those instructions. And I really didn't do nothing like spectacular. I just was listening and following instructions.
Because I followed Miss Belma's instructions, Miss Belma DeMumber, and then she trained me and mentored me, because we all need a coach. Now, when you went through accreditation and then you finally got accredited, how did that, tell us about that?
That was just like an undescribable feeling. It was just like the process, it was, once it finally happened and we got accredited, it was just, at first I thought, oh man, everything was going to be just great after that point. We celebrated and we were happy, and that was a great accomplishment. I thought things, man, like this year, man, it's been an awesome year. Me and my wife have stood in faith. We stood in faith that every month we take a vacation this year. So this is the first year that we've been on vacation every month. Every month. We're going to Africa on November 10th. The 22nd for the first time. I'm going to visit Kumasi, Ghana. It's a dream that I always had. And this barbering industry has provided me the opportunity where I'm going to take me and my wife and my 4 kids to Africa for 2 weeks in November. We've been able to travel. I've been able to meet other people. I would say since this has happened, Chin, I had to get a new passport, man, because I've been traveling and just having different experiences, and just meeting different people. So, and that's the fulfillment that I've always, I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. to enjoy my work, travel, and still be able to, you know, spend time with my family. And that's been the main thing. I've been able to not focus on like the paycheck system or even the client system. I remember when I first met you, you told me, I said, how many clients you got, Chin? You said 2. And I tell people that to this day, I got a client come in and I got 2 clients and I don't want to get rid of them because they've been so long. But it's like, I got like 2 or 3 clients that's been faithful. So it's just, you know, it's just opened up doors where I can spend more time with my kids. I mean, I can wake up in the morning. I can make sure that they get on the school bus. If they, you know, if they need me to come to the school throughout the day, I can go do that. So it just frees me up a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been lonely a little bit, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. I wouldn't trade it. Energy just to talk. I would tell them though, but if you really are serious about this and you want to do it, then man, trust in the process. I mean, I genuinely never felt that you had any ulterior motives to not see me succeed. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think the genuineness about you, because you had no motivation. You just, oh, Kamasi, I need to make this or this. You just kept it real with me, man. And that's just something that is not a lot of out here. So when you run across genuine people, man, I just say cherish it. So for barbers that want to make that leap of faith, you just gotta jump, man, like Steve Harvey. So man, to keep them books rolling in, you know, your books have helped a lot of my students too, man. The Millionaire Ex-Convict and that Barber, the Millionaire Barber Stylist, man. So yeah, keep up the good work, Chin. I appreciate you, man.